Hi everyone. I thought I would make a video about the Drawing Hands task project that we've set because some people are getting a little bit confused about the activities. So I'll run through the entire process, drawing the hand, then copying and rotating the hand, and then I'll make another video for the shading guide. Okay. Now remember, the first thing we're doing is that we're drawing from direct observation. Okay, that means looking closely and intensely at the thing in front of you. That thing has all the answers. Okay, so when you're drawing your hand, you're looking at the other hand, your non-drawing hand, holding a pen in front of you. Okay, it's important that you keep that hand still, okay, because otherwise the perspective changes and your hand image will change as you draw it. Okay, so I have my hand here, obviously it's upside down because it's in the video. Okay, my hand here, which I will place it in front of me as I draw, keeping it in one place and not moving it, so that I can constantly refer to it and the basic shapes will stay the same. Now, and of course my drawing will be upside down as well. Sorry about that. I may rotate the whole video just to make it easier for you at the end. Okay, now I've got a piece of paper in front of me. The first thing I need to do is remember that I want to fill up as much of the page as possible. Okay, I'm drawing a small little hand in the middle. Isn't going to look very good. I want it to be a decent size. Okay, so I'm going to draw a very faint line down the middle of my page to make sure that my knuckle, my top knuckle of my hand, meets the middle of the drawing, and so that the hand I draw will be central. Okay, now using basic shapes, as we discussed in class, the basic shape from your top knuckle of your index finger down to the second knuckle of your thumb is almost a straight line, which I can draw here like this. Okay, and this line here, this little notch here, will represent the bottom of my thumb. Okay, let's move it down a little bit. Okay, now as my hand goes down, and of course everyone's hand will be different, so you'll need to observe and look at your hand to make sure that it's correct. My hand makes an almost triangular shape going down like that. Okay, and into my wrist, and at the thumb, where my thumb is, it's a triangular shape going up like that. Okay, now this is just a vague shape. I'm just drawing in basic shapes at the moment. They don't represent what my hand will look like at the end. I'm just putting in these basic shapes so that my final drawing will be easier to do. Okay, so once I've drawn that basic shape, I can then start to divide this line of the triangle down so that I can get the thickness of my fingers correct. Now if I show you here, if I tilt my hand a little bit, if this is the line of the triangle here, like this, this finger represents about a third of that, and this finger represents about a third of that as well, and this gap is the remaining third. Okay, so if I divide my triangle into 3 even spaces, I now know how thick my thumb is going to be and how thick my finger is going to be. Another observation I can make when looking at my hand is that this side, the triangular side of my hand, is almost the same size as this side of my hand. Okay, so this side here and this side here, almost the same size, and that is why I put that dividing line on my piece of paper up the middle here, because I knew that each side of my drawing would be roughly the same size. Okay, now the first and easiest thing to do is draw the index finger first. Okay, this is the most dominant finger, the most dominant shape on the finger side of your hand. Okay, so it's important to do that first. Now I can see a descending line going down like this, and then the angle changes as my finger changes. Now everyone holds a pencil differently, so it's important that we just observe and see what those angles are and copy them. Now I've just drawn 3 basic lines there. We discussed in class it looks a bit like a robot hand. Okay, that's fine. Again, it's just the basic shape so far. Now I can look at the thickness of my finger, how thick each part is, and of course your finger does get slightly thinner as it goes down. Okay, the lumps, don't worry about those, we can put those in a minute. So I start off by making this into a shape, and then making this into a shape, and this into a shape. Okay, that's my basic finger done. My thumb is significantly easier to do because we've only got 2 joins this far up on your thumb. The third join is actually down here, which incorporates part of the main block of your hand. Okay, so you only actually have 2 blocks here, this block and this block. Okay. Now this block is almost horizontal. Here it goes like that, and then my final block of my thumb is there. Okay, I've drawn my basic hand shape. Now I look at the angle of my pencil. I can draw a line to make it easier for me to draw. I know that my pencil it actually gets to about here. So I'm drawing a straight line here, and then it's quite easy for me to just put in the basic shape of the pen. Doesn't have to be perfect. Your drawings will be better than mine, of course. There we go, that'll do. Okay. Now, based on at what angle I'm holding the pencil, I might actually be able to see the fingers behind these ones. Okay, depending on how you're holding the pencil, of course, and how you're angling it in front of you. Okay, so I can see behind the pencil that there's another finger here, but I don't have to draw really many lines because you can't see much of it. Out the bottom, though, I can see a bit of my finger here, a bit of my finger here, and a bit of my finger here. Okay, the remaining lines I can just fill in like this. This line isn't actually a straight line. On my thumb, it's this little weird little wrinkly flap here. Okay, so I can actually start to draw that in as well. And the bottom part of my hand isn't a direct straight line. You actually have like a little lump here, a little muscle bulge at the bottom of your hand. So this line curves a bit, and it curves up. And I can actually see the other part of my hand as well. And then my wrist continues on like that. Okay, and there we have the basic hand shape. Now, the thing that I have done here without even thinking about it is I've sketched very lightly, and I haven't been too neat. I don't need to be neat at this stage. This is just a guess, a plan. This is me observing more than caring about the drawing. Me getting everything in the right place. Okay. Once I've done that, then I can start to look at my hand in more detail and start to think, okay, my knuckles are quite lumpy. And then this line isn't actually a dead straight line. It goes down a little bit, and then it goes up again when it gets to my knuckle. And then it goes down again, and up again when it gets to the knuckle of my finger there, and in. And then I've got a bit of a nail there. This presses against my finger. This comes up, and I've got a little bit of a wrinkle here. This is actually a bit of a lump here, like that. This comes in here, there's a line here, and another line here, because I'm a wrinkly old man. Okay. And I'm starting to get some definition, and I'm starting to get some more accurate work done. Okay, my knuckle here comes like that, the outside of my thumb is going down like that, and this comes up here to my hand wrinkle. Okay. So I'm only going dark once I know where my lines are going to be. Okay. Now I'm going to finish up this drawing, and then I'm going to make a second drawing on how we do the graphite rotation. Okay. So if you want to click on that link for that one, I'll talk to you again in a second.